Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You may delete as appropriate. My name is Chad Landman. Welcome back to Landman EDC. We've got an interesting one here today. LoopGear has unveiled the LoopDot. This is a tiny little flashlight, and I have lots of questions. Let's take a look. All right, so LoopGear graciously sent me their LoopDot. This is a tiny, tiny little light. Look at how little this thing is. A tiny little light. Let me put a side by side here so you can see how tiny it is. This is AirPods Pro right here. And granted, it is in a case, so it makes it a little bit bigger. But you can see this is about half the size of an AirPods Pro case. Now, I don't know exactly what to think about this thing because the nerd tech guy inside of me just loves this. But the EDC guy says, why? Why would I ever carry this? And I don't think that's the right question to be asking necessarily. I think we probably need to be asking, is this for us EDC guys or not? Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about this as well. You've probably seen reviews on this as well. My review is overdue, and I thank so much LoopGear for sending out the LoopDot, but also being gracious with my time because the job ain't stopping. So they sent this accessory kit. You come with a nice box. It's a very Apple-like experience. In fact, it's got very Apple-like construction. Seamless here, except for, well, I say seamless. It's got nearly seamless as you run your finger across it. But on the back here, you've got simply a LoopGear and some certification stuff. You've got a USB-C on the bottom here. You've got a large LED screen. We'll see here in a minute, large compared to the product, that is. You've got a fidget wheel that feels really nice as like a fidget spinner slash dial wheel that you use for different functions of the light. We'll talk about a look about that here in just a second. But you can see here, you can just do it with your thumb. It's very nice, fits in your hand. There is one switch on the top. So you have, for your UI, you have one switch and a dial. And these work together to display a variety of different things on the light itself, but also the LED pixel display. Now, they really want you to know about the LED pixel display, and I'll show it to you now. You saw the little battery indicator flash up right there. This is for floodlight. I can actually go around and rotate this around, and it does do stepping right here, so it does kind of click into place. There's no audible click. It's just a vibration that you can see in, or you feel in your fingers rather, and it's actually really nice. So you've got a lot of different functions here. You've got a spotlight, but then you've got also floodlight. So I saw a happy face with two eyes in this. When I first turned it on, I thought it was greeting me. But it's not. It's the floodlight and the pinpoint light. And so you've got a lot of different settings here, guided by the wheel. Now, to hit the enter button, I guess you would hit that, and it would show you. This is, for instance, the vibration motor sensitivity. So you can go all the way up, and I'm up to 20 here. It goes up to 20. It's a very powerful vibration motor. So you can actually tailor that to your needs. And I like to keep it at about 3 or 4, and then you just hit that enter button to go back. And then you go flashlight, floodlight, that's vibration. You've got a game on here, and you can choose between the different games. Now, I'm not going to play these games. I'm not going to play them here on the video. I'm not going to sit here and play them on my flashlight. I'm not playing a game on my flashlight. However, again, that speaks to me to say that if we're looking at this as an EDC guy kind of thing, that's not for us. This is a tech gadget, not a flashlight. They just happen to add a flashlight to it. Now, what would be really neat is if they did double the size pixel display and no flashlight on it with just a nice little wheel. But what you've got here is you've got games, you've got floodlight, and then your spotlight, and then of course you got your vibration settings motor, and then your games. So the big thing right here is the settings right here. And of course, if I go to flashlight, you can double click that, and it's actually got a really neat, pretty good flashlight, as you can see. And you can step those down, step those up, and you can put the intensity way up. Now look at this. This is actually still on, but it's got a very, very, see that right there? It's illuminated. Very, very, very faint moonlight setting. And they say that this goes down to 0.1 lumens for a moonlight setting. So you can actually look at that. It goes all the way dim, and you can get it back up, and it gives you that outer ring. You've got this outer ring of LEDs, as you can see. I'm going to reduce that, but you've got this outer ring of LEDs, and then you've got this inner ring of LEDs, and that is your floodlight function now, or spotlight function. Then you've got your floodlight function, and that uses the center LED, which is a cooler CRI on that, and this gives you kind of the pinpoint light as well, and you can obviously ramp it up and ramp it down. It actually is really nice, and you could use this as a little fidget right here. I'm going to turn that off. But you could use this as a little fidget, kind of do that, and the vibrations, they really do feel really good in your hand. So the visualizer here, you got a little visualizer that you can put on here, and that's in the games settings and other features, and you can rotate between these. You can do all sorts of different stuff. You can go backwards and forwards. It's a double tap to go back. You've got a matrix kind of thing. This is my favorite one right here. You've got a matrix kind of thing right here, and you can actually speed it up by pressing the dial down. I mean, it's pretty neat. If you really want to get into it, it's pretty neat. It's certainly, I tell you this, it is certainly a conversation starter. I'll tell you that much right now, because you pull this thing out at a party or whatnot, and you're gonna get people to be like, what is that? So it's definitely a conversation starter, but it is also a pretty good little functional light. Now, you'll see right here that it does not have any kind of belt clip or anything to speak of. This would fit very well in a coin pocket, but it's not going in any other pocket for me. If I really want to EDC this around, what I'm not using is the first iteration of their case. Now this came with, in the box, this came with it, and you click this into this case, and the top button is really hard to hit. Yeah, it's really tough to turn on. You got to press it pretty hard. So I do not like this case. However, look at that. I love that little stepless kind of, I love being able to do that. It's actually a really neat little fit. You can sit here and fidget with this for a long time. Sorry, I'm getting off track here. But if you want to turn it off there, you can turn it off this way. You can actually press and hold to turn it off. But in this case with the lanyard, and it's a nice lanyard. If you can see the lanyard here, it has LoopGear kind of on it. It's kind of this nice little cloth texture kind of thing. It's a nice little lanyard. I'm not carrying it this way though. I am very happy that they sent me also the redesigned clip. So let me take this off. And it is kind of difficult to get off here. Okay, so if you pull it off on the top, you can get it over that button and it comes out pretty easily because there's no really lip on the front except these front ones to hold it in. This one has a clip. That reminds you of something? When I put this in here, it's going to definitely remind you of something. You got to make sure that it's got these little two stubs on the bottom so that it can stand up on its own. So if you wanted to stand it up, it will stand up on its own. But when I put the clip on it, look what it reminds me of. And look at the size. This is, of course, the O clip from Olight. And then you've got the LoopGear clip. This LoopGear clip is actually really nicely made. And again, it is upside down, just like the O clip is. They got design inspiration definitely from this. But this one, as you can see, this newly redesigned thing, they just decided to cut out the button part to not give it any protection, which I don't think it would need protection necessarily. But you get full access to that button. That button is not very, I don't know if you can see, but that button is nearly flush with the top. I mean, it's maybe 0.5 millimeter, but it really gives you much easier access. And so you can use that. And again, just a double tap is going to send you to the light function of this. You don't even have to worry about the screens, but this would be an excellent little light up thing to put on a backpack. So what I'm thinking about is I've gotten into rucking. I don't know what you know about rucking, but rucking is basically putting a weighted backpack on your back. And certain number of pounds and walking or running with it. And I've gotten really into that. And I need something, when it starts getting really dark in the mornings, I need something that I can clip onto the back of my bag that's going to give a clear signal that I'm a person walking down the road to cars if they're coming up. And so this will actually be really nice to do that. However, I don't know exactly how much other practical use I'm going to get out of it beyond what I've gotten out of already, something like the Olight. And I don't want to compare it directly to this because yes, while they look the same and while they have the same design inspirations, it's a different product. They decided to add this OLED screen, which is, again, some of you will say it's a gimmick, it's a complete joke. This thing is going to be a hit with some of the tech crowd, I believe. This will be a really cool thing with the tech crowd, not so much the EDC crowd, I believe. Thank you so much to the LoopGear team for sending me the LoopDot. Apologies for the delayed review as well. So this is on Kickstarter, so you can check it out as well if you want to. And I love how you can just take your part in these animations and speed them up or slow them down using the dial. It's pretty cool. It's a gimmick maybe, but it's pretty neat. To me, the addition of the clip on this thing is absolutely essential to its functionality as far as an EDC product for me goes. And so I really like that addition. I really like the way that they changed it. I don't know if they will I don't know if they'll offer, since it's just a Kickstarter, I don't know if they'll offer the case, which is magnetic. It's also magnetic. I don't know if they'll offer the regular case with the lanyard, or if you can just attach I can take this lanyard and attach it to this one if I really wanted to. And it just has that extra functionality of having a clip on it as well. So don't know, but I really appreciate LoopGear sending it out. And thank you so much for tuning into the video today. And if you need prayers, if you would like me to pray for you, if you have a prayer request, make sure you put that down in the description, or excuse me, put it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the video. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.